there, and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. I am in the kitchen baking. Let me grab this melted butter out of my microwave. Ouch, that was hot. Okay. It's not melted yet either. Alright, so I am in the kitchen baking. I'm making an apple crisp, and I thought I would show you how I do it. It's a pretty easy recipe, pretty tasty. I had a bunch of apples that came from the food pantry. They were red delicious apples. I've already got them peeled and chopped up in my casserole dish. And I got a piece of peel in there that I didn't mean to have. I'll eat that piece. Okay. I think it's like an 8 by 12 dish maybe. It might be 9 by 13, but I think it's a little smaller than that. And come here, Isaac. You want a treat, I know. So anyway, I just peeled the apples, diced them up into bite-sized chunks, put them in the bottom of the dish. Like I said, I think it was about a dozen apples. I'm not real picky. And grab Isaac some treats here. You know, just dice them up in whatever looks like bite-sized pieces to you. I used Red Delicious apples because that's what I got from the food pantry. They're not really my favorite apple. And you can use any kind you like, whatever kind you have on hand, or you can use a mixture of different kinds. I like to use a sweeter apple. I probably wouldn't use like Granny Smith apples, although some people really like Granny Smith apples in pies. You know, so it's up to you. Whatever you have, whatever you like. And I saved my apple peels and cores because I'm going to make apple cider vinegar out of them. So in my big dish, I normally use a smaller dish for this, but my smaller dish that I would normally use is in the refrigerator holding dandelion flowers, so now it's in this bowl. I've got about 3/4 of a cup of melted or mostly melted butter. 3/4 of a cup, that's like 1.5 sticks of butter, or use margarine if that's what you have. I like to bake with real butter when I can. So what I'm going to do, I've got about 1.5 cups of oats, just like regular oatmeal, not the instant oatmeal, but regular oats. And I'm going to dump it in my bowl. And I'm going to add some sugar and find another measuring cup. Alright, so let's see. How much sugar do I want? I'm probably going to put about 2/3 of a cup of sugar in there. My measuring cup's 1/3. So I'm going to use 2 of those. Put my big old giant thing of sugar down here. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to use 1/3 cup of white sugar. Get Sassy up on, you see Sassy up on the stove? Let Sassy entertain you for a moment while I dig out some brown sugar from my baking cabinet here. Man, I need to clean out this cabinet. I feel like there should be brown sugar down here. Brown sugar. I'm going to use 1/3 cup of brown sugar. I need scissors to open this package, or else I'll rip it and sugar will go flying everywhere. Okay, so if you've lost track because I seem disorganized and confused, it's 3/4 cup of melted butter, or 1.5 sticks of butter. 1.5 cups of rolled oats. Nice, Sassy. 1/3 cup of white sugar and 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And you could use all white sugar, but brown sugar goes so good with apples, doesn't it? That's why I just changed my mind there and decided I wanted brown sugar, because brown sugar goes so good with apples. You know, the Ziploc bag. I'll put this in a Ziploc bag and then I'll reuse this Ziploc bag for a long time. If your brown sugar gets hard, which it does after a while, if you put some in a bowl and then put a damp cloth on top of it, or just a damp paper towel, and stick it in the microwave for 15 or 20 seconds, and then let it sit for a few minutes, your sugar will get softer again. Okay. Cinnamon. I want cinnamon out of this cupboard too. All right, so I'm going to sprinkle cinnamon. I'm gonna shut that cabinet before Sassy gets in it. So I'm gonna sprinkle some cinnamon all over my apples. I'm not measuring, I'm just sprinkling some. Very precise, right? I know when people do recipes, I always want exact measurements when they say just put however much feels right. That doesn't really tell me much, but that's what I do. I'm gonna grab a spoon, and then I'll kind of stir those apples up so the cinnamon is evenly distributed, or sort of evenly distributed. Again, I'm just not that picky. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of stir it up. Hopefully get some cinnamon on all the apples, or on most of the apples anyway. It's gonna get all bubbly and melty in the oven anyway. All right. So then I'm gonna stir up my butter, oats, and sugar. And like I said, if you don't have brown sugar, you can use all white sugar. You could also use Splenda if you want a sugar-free recipe. You could probably use stevia, but I don't know what the measurements would be because I'm not used to cooking with stevia. So you're gonna get it so it's just all mixed together. Sassy, don't need you up here, darling. So then you're just gonna dump this on top of your apples. And I'm gonna spread it out, make an attempt to get it spread out evenly after I just get it all in the dish. That was my oven preheating. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So you just get this topping all over your dish. Use your spoon and kind of smush it out so it's flat. And pretty much all your apples are covered. If some aren't completely covered, that's not a big deal. It's a pretty forgiving recipe. You don't have to be very precise. All right, and then I am gonna sprinkle some chopped pecans on top of it because I love pecans. You can sprinkle some chopped walnuts or any other nut that you have, really, or you can make it without nuts. I feel like it gives it a little extra crunch, and plus I like to think it's good for me, give me a little protein. So that's what it looks like when it's done. I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees. And here's me being real precise again. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to check it after half an hour, but it'll probably take more like 40 minutes to 45 minutes until the apples are all tender and the topping is kind of crunchy and golden brown. So I will show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. All right, so this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. There you can see some apples there. That's my dehydrator trays over here that need to get washed. There's some apples, and it looks really good, and I'm gonna have some as soon as I make some coffee to go with it. Let me know if you try the recipe. By the way, the same recipe works well with peaches, although I don't put as much cinnamon or any cinnamon with the peaches. So let me know if you try it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Have a good day, friends.